As Orgo left, he did sneer. Dax lost everything he held dear. All he had left was pain and fear, but he did not learn to hate. Love was nowhere to be found. He had no heart to make a sound. Dax was left alone and unbound. For an early grave, Dax was late, left alone to rattle around like a skeleton and to await his dire and terrible fate.
Dax knew he would soon be dead. All of his precious hopes had fled. Dax looked into the mirror and said, "I lost everything I held dear. Will I also forget this pain with my bruised and battered brain before I am savagely slain? How can salty, searing tears falling down like drops of rain wash away all of my fears? Tears and rain are lost like years. For me now there is nothing left. How can life lead to death? How can death take away my breath with one kiss that I want to miss? How can I beat or cheat my fate? Tell death that he will have to wait. Let it be death, not me, that is late. Our appointment he can surely miss. Death itself can now hesitate as I pause, pondering the bliss of Princess Mirabella's kiss. I am restless like a sea. When will love come rescue me, wiping down the slate of memory from my bruised and battered brain? My thoughts are filled with fire. With a fever I perspire. My tormentor never tires of inflicting pointless pain. When Orgo returns, I will expire. He made that point quite plain, if in this cell I remain. Candle, bring me the light of day. If you could speak, would you say why you burned your life away? Flickering candle, short and stout, made from wax from a beehive. The more you burn, the less you live. The darker it is, the more you give. Do not leave me alone to pout. Candle bright, please do not deprive here in the darkness and doubt. Oh, do not glow and go out. Death, after me you seem to chase down corridors of time and space. I see your shadow, not your face. Do you have eyes I can't see? You cut down lives of friends most dear. Death, do you ever shed a tear? You fill me with dread and fear. It is pointless to try to flee. I feel your breath. You must be near. Oh, death, today may just be the day you do conquer me. With much darkness and little light, Dax was left alone with his fright. Dax was a pale, pathetic sight. His future looked very bleak. With a candle he stepped nearer so he could see much clearer his reflection in the mirror. He was so sickly, thin, and weak. Dax looked at the man in the mirror. His reflection began to speak. I have the solution you seek. Take seriously Org's threat to cut you down like unripe wheat. You may yet wiggle out of the net. You have been sticking here like glue. Your mind has been cloudy, not clear. You are a prisoner of fear. Danger and death are very near. It is time to learn something new. Do all you can to escape from here. See the answer in front of you. Dying is the last thing you should do. Dax, take some sound advice from me. cross the yawning chasm you see between what is and what might be. My wise advice you must heed to escape this persistent pain and relieve this stress and strain, for you have everything to gain. I am here in your time of need. You are lost like tears in the rain. Do what I say, or you will bleed. On your dead body, worms will feed. Do not let fear be your reaction. Instead, take productive action. In justice, demand satisfaction. Do not live and die in disgrace. With more sorrow than you can bear, do not waste away in despair from a lack of loving care. Leave this dark and dismal place. In the mirror Dax did stare, for he then saw another face of a lady dressed in lace. Dax, in amazement and surprise, winked and blinked his baffled eyes. Was it his reflection in disguise? Was it his lost princess bride? In the mirror, the face did appear of Mirabel, who was so dear. It was there to be seen so clear. Then she was gone. Where did she hide? Her image seemed to disappear. The mirror glass Dax did slide. What was on the other side? He found a hidden passage there with a secret flight of stone stairs. Stairs leading to who knows where. Through the mirror frame Dax did pass. The path was dark as night. His candle provided him light. Up the staircase he would take flight. He slid back the two-way mirrored glass. Dax stared at the stairs, a bright sight, in search of the long-lost lass who looked through the looking-glass. He stared up the steps more and more. He stepped up the stairs to a door. He opened it and stepped on the floor. He looked around and he did see he had left the dungeon's gloom, which was alike an undiscovered tomb, to enter Mirabella's bedroom. The princess said, "This cannot be, for I had sealed your doom." Dax replied, "My mind was the key, the golden key that set me free." Dazzled by her beauty, Dax did stare, her beauty so radiant and rare. She looked upset to see him there. She looked at him with disdain. Princess Mirabella then did say, "You were supposed to stay in the dungeon with its stones of gray, where I would watch you writhe in pain. You are supposed to die today. Worms may feast your remains, for your loss is my gain." The princess had dealt craftily, erasing Dax's memory of his true identity before sending him to jail. On a table, a vase he did find, filled with flowers unlike the kind that erased the slate of his mind in his most woeful, tragic tale. Their fragrance cleared his cloudy mind. Forget-me-nots he did inhale. Princess Mirabella looked pale. His lost memory did return, for her love he still did yearn. What became of his heart, he would learn. I saved you, and you stole my heart. I now remember everything, all the troubles you did bring. Your praises I used to sing, you are natural work of art. You would not wear my wedding ring. Your choices have forced us apart. Now give me back my stolen heart. Princess Mirabella then said,
"You are supposed to be dead, but from the dungeon you have fled in search of your tender heart. Of your heart, I am the thief. You have been paralyzed by grief and agony beyond belief. Your life was doomed from the start. Our dear relationship was so brief, for fickle fate forced us apart, and I left you without your heart. I thought of ways to abuse it. For a pincushion, I meant to use it. I did not care if I would lose it, although hurting you I did enjoy. Where is it now? I know not where. I threw it away without a care for the dirty dogs of despair to use as a chew toy. Your wedding ring I would not wear. I played with your heart like a toy, draining it of love and joy.
Dax paused a moment and said, I have no more tears to shed. Dax took the crown off of her head, inclining Mirabel to cry. Mirabel then did sadly say,
Do not take my crown away. With me it must always stay. I would rather live a lie. I do not know any other way. Why even ask or wonder why? Without the crown, I would die.
The crown shined in the light of day. Its jewels sparkled in the sun rays. He threw the golden crown away. Dax tossed the crown out of a window. Dax was no longer under her spell. No! Mirabel then did yell. For what reasons no one can tell, after the golden crown she did go. She reached for the crown and she fell into the deep water below. She was so high and fell so low. Mirabel did follow the crown. The princess kept her precious crown. The weight of it had pulled her down, so Mirabel would not float. The fresh fragrance of a flower caused her to fall from her tower to a place she had no power, or even a small rowboat. The moat monster did devour her down in the depths of the moat, the saddest words I ever wrote. The moat monster was quite mean, a remorseless eating machine. Mirabel would not live to be queen. The monster was of great size. It was nature's biggest mistake. It caused Mirabel's heart to ache before it did finally break. Mirabel had a big surprise. Her life the moat monster did take. She could not believe her eyes. Its glowing colors did hypnotize. Her name was Princess Mirabel, and Dax was under her love spell. From her tall tower she fell. She was a dangerous enemy. She broke his heart, but it may mend. She was once a very good friend. A helping hand she did lend. Her beauty set his spirit free. She was conflicted to the end. Her sting was worse than a bee. From her fury he could not flee.